What's good, everybody? It is me, it's Obli, and today I'm bringing you NEXUS-KING SALHADAAR on Mythic. So, playing Frost, playing Deathbringer. I'm also playing double on News Trinket as well, but I want to quickly just shout out the Frost DK skin I unlocked for my room. Really nice now that we've moved. Anyway, we're moving on. We're opening up, and I'm running a Nether Prism and I'm running a Cursed Stone Idol. Multiple damage amps. Lots of points where having a double on use wouldn't be so bad. But also, I just found that over the night, Antenna just wasn't pulling the numbers that Cursed Stone Idol was. So I do my Cursed Stone Idol on pull with my burst, and I do it every single time with breath up until the platforms where I then switch. I then hold Stone Idol for 45 seconds and do my Nether Prism instead, and it would be fully stacked at 18 at that point. So with these blazes, I like to disadvance because then you don't get chucked into potentially another one, and then maybe a little cooldown as well. If I get banishment at this point, I also get another cooldown. But there we go. So with those spirits, I have this neat little weak aura that gives me a little line, so I can easily line up the spirits. As long as I know the spirits are coming, it's easy peasy. Again, with the multiple group soak, I like to get hit by the beams. No, that's not something you should do. But with the multiple group soak, I like to AMS and disadvance because then I am free from any movement impairing effects that the boss might do, so aka the knock up. So if there is a beam walking my way, I can get out of it pretty quickly. But here we go. I like to find a nice spot to bait the blaze lines in, and then when I know that there'll always be a second one, so then I find another space. I just hold there for a second. I'm not doing any damage. It'd be better for me to just make sure that that is done correctly, then go to the boss, make sure I don't kill somebody else. But next spirits, I'm definitely going to pop here because I need to make sure that all of my cooldowns are used on cooldown on this fight to get maximum effect. So even if I know I'm going to have to come out and do a group soak, try and get close enough to the point where breath can still tick on it at least, but it's fine. It's worth it in the end so that you can burst earlier on the platforms. Making sure I don't miss any of these spirits. The damage at the start is really not where we will shine as Frost DKs. You can disadvance this so that you don't get knocked back, but I like to go in there, greed a couple of globals and then walk out. But you can see we're at 13 stacks of Nether Prism already. We're going to have probably, we're going to have one more 45-second cycle, and then we'll be going upstairs. So I target SALHADAAR because he takes extra damage from Reaper's Mark because his health is lower than the dragon. That is about it, to be honest. Because I'm also running Frost Reaper, it's not worth Frost Scything on these two targets because Obliterate does 10% more damage. So it's pretty much just Obliterate all the way here. So Gateway back there. Very nice. Good job. Good job, good job. I'm saving my potion as well. You can see that my potion is still available. I'm actually saving this for the damage amp phase because that's when DPS is the most important. Okay, so at 2 minutes 45, we are now going up to the platform. We're going to have our full burst and we're going to have a fully stacked Nether Prism. So we're targeting the Titan. I am the third interrupt here. So as I move away and I know that my abilities can't cleave, I then switch to doing Obliterate, but I'm also trying to get myself 4 stacks of Bone Grinder so that when I burst after this, so that everything's dropped, now I can burst quickly, don't drop it. I managed to get it. Nice, so I got that 5th stack of Bone Grinder there, but that's what I'm kind of holding out for. Realistically, in a better world, I am with the tank. I'm bang on, smack in the middle of with the tank, but I was only just slightly off, so, and that's my own fault. But I wouldn't say that the DPS particularly right now is super impressive because I've had like 8.5 mil here before. That would have been fucking gorgeous to have, but I mean, I'll take the 8 mil at the end of the phase. That's fine. That's pretty good. There we go. So with the nerfs that came in, it seems like the boss is it's still pretty difficult, I'll be honest, but it's just some of the certain timers and checks are just not really there anymore. So for example, the Manaforge Titan health. You don't have to be so meticulous with getting that down now. Anyway, so we have Pillar of Frost and Cursed Stone Idol for this one, and we get double benefit because there's 2 targets. So now I'm going to be targeting the Voidwing because in a minute, the Voidwing will be my main focus target. So realistically, I want to make sure that I've stacked up all my Razor Ices. I want to make sure that I've got anything I need to on this target for when the damage amp comes. So I'm just going to main target the Voidwing instead. We're still holding out some pretty decent damage compared to everybody else right now. No flame. Just love. So now we are lusting and we have the damage amp. So we don't have our major cooldowns, but that's okay because we will get them halfway through. We will get a usage out of them at least. So coming up, we've got 5 seconds left. So what I want to do now is just try and be good with my Bone Grinder. I procced it, so I cancel warred it so that I could start this window correctly. So now I started this window, managed to easily spend all my Power Rune weapons and get 5 stacks Bone Grinder. a small 29k nether prism as well. Here I'm going to death advance so I don't fall into anybody else's blaze, but then also AMS too. So now we have the third and final phase. We are absolutely slamming the damage right now, but just want to make sure we don't get any mechanics, because then we'll continue to slam. But what we want to do here is we want to make sure that we are using a defensive when you get targeted with this slam. You can disadvance that gravity hole thing if you want to. You don't actually have to be honest. It's really not that big a deal if you don't. But I like to do it anyway. And more uptime on the boss, essentially. So we have our 45-second burst and Curse-Stone Idol coming back. Super nice. Let's go. And we've got 4 stacks as well. So, bam. Did a quick empowering weapon because I wasn't able to proc it early. But you can see my weak aura says I'm the right-hand star, which means that if you were looking from the boss towards the stars, I would be the right-hand one. Kind of annoying that I had my burst and then I had to do that, because I wanted to make sure I did that correctly. So I kind of just fucked up a couple of globals there in my burst window. Is what it is. Maybe I could have held pillar for a couple of seconds just to make sure I didn't get an ability, but it is what it is. So now what you could do when people get targeted with these lines is you can put an AMZ down so that those 3 people can sit in the AMZ and take that reduced damage from the dot that it leaves. I can't really find, or I don't really feel like there's many other places where AMZ would be particularly useful here other than there. I feel like that's the biggest impact place. But we're fully bursting now. We didn't manage to get Reaper's Mark to pop in our Bone Grinder window, but right now kind of in a bit of a not panic mode, but we need to kill this now. We need to make sure this is done properly mode. To see, I even run away and don't even turn to cleave the boss with my breath. All these little like micro mistakes sort of adding up. So this is why I didn't necessarily get the best log in the world. It was a decent log, but also if this died a little bit faster, then it'd be even better. But yeah, we had spent a large amount of time on this boss and we wanted to just get it done. But I think I'm going to get at least one more burst window out here. I think it's probably going to get like one more pillar. See, either the boss dies after my breath or the boss dies after my next breath. The boss dying kind of here is not ideal because pillar is going to fully run out, and pillar is my last saving grace of bringing that DPS back up. But it's getting tight now. With all these Starkers, it's getting tight. I'm saving my defensives just in case I get like some sort of smash or some sort of CD. But like right now, I could probably pop anything because it's very unlikely that we're now going to get or we don't get any more targeted thingies. You don't get targeted with the smashes anymore. This is the maximum amount of stars. You're now going to hit Enrage. See World in Twilight, that little timer there. That is the Enrage essentially. But see, it's such a shit kill time. It would have been well good if it died actually 30 seconds later. Well, actually, probably would be dead. But we did get this big neck, and then guess who fucking got it? Best in slot neck. Yeah, best in slot Frost DK. What can I say? Anyways, that is my rundown of NEXUS-KING. Fucking good boss, actually. Really sick boss. Easily could have been an end boss. This gave me Sarkar vibes, big time. I really, really did like this. And once you nail down the spirits, honestly, the fight is not that difficult. It's just timing and positioning, and it's up to your raid leading, which we had a very good team doing. So thanks everybody for watching. Stay subscribed and like the fucking video if you want to see more DK stuff. Also, get out my coaching in the link below. Get out my Discord. I will be reopening my coaching as soon as I'm back from holiday, so that'll be the 18th onwards. But love you guys so much. Yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day and goodbye.